Hey Russ, was that a 5100 or a 7100 Motul you were looking for?
Full synthetic, the 71.
2 or 3?
3 should do it.
You know, Russ, it's bad enough you leave your bike in the middle of the aisle here all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But you never did explain to me why there's clutch on your brake lever.
It's actually a pretty good story.
I'm just saying, I probably walk by this 70 times a day. And
I get people at the track too, they see clutch on the wrong lever.
So what's the story?
The story actually comes from Nate. We were doing a Road America day and we were up pretty late getting the bike ready because, you know, our bikes are usually the last ones to get ready before a track day. And actually, you know what? I got a bike in the shop that would be perfect to explain why I earned the name Clutch.
Why don't we take it down there and check it out?
Yeah, we'll check it out.
All right, Russ. Looks like you got quite the spread going on over here.
Yep, got it all set up.
Let's talk about what's going on.
So when I talked about up front, how I earned the nickname, actually, ironically, was doing a clutch, so I figured talk to you about this and show you what I did to get that name. Not exactly proud of it, but this is the culprit of what caused my name. Is this is a judder spring. And a lot of guys don't understand how this goes. There is a direction to these. On Hondas, they're both beveled, but one is beveled more than the other. Kind of hard to see, but I'll rotate so you can try to see that. Anyway, these go in a very specific order, as well as the plates have a specific order they go in, and 2 of these plates are wider diameter than the other. So that's critical that you get them in the right location, otherwise your clutch won't work. So what happened to me, Road America, is I was putting in my judder spring on my Cowie, and on this Honda, these can't drop down on this clutch, but on my Cowie, what can happen is you put these go right on the clutch hub here, and when you slide them back, and then you put that larger plate in, and then the second plate in there, what happened to me was mine dropped down like this and got in between the clutch plates. So I had one clutch plate in the back, kind of bad illustration that way, and then one clutch plate in the front, and I actually pinched the plate. How the clutch actually operated well enough for me to do a track day, I'm not really sure, but I kept having issues shifting into 4th gear at Road America, and then basically when I got back from the track day, I tore it all apart to find my, goof. We did this all at like 2 or 3 in the morning, no joke, the day before or 2 days before a track day, because again, our track bikes get worked on last. So what I wanted to go through in the video is how to make sure you get all this stuff correct. All this is in your service manual, but they're very unclear in the service manual as to which way these go. And so from experience, I wanted to relay that to you guys so that you get it all correct. So if Nick, you can pan in on this. What I wanted to go over is these plates are different. So if you look from the top down, this plate here is a wider diameter in the center, and that allows for the judder spring to fit in there, and then that one stacks on top. And then when this one goes on top, now this plate actually engages the judder spring, and that leaves tension on the spring when the clutch is released. So the way this would go in would be this plate would go in first, like so, all the way to the back. Then your first judder spring, which is the flatter of the 2, the concave part of the spring needs to be like this, okay? And then that goes in like this. So I hope that's clear on the video. That goes in, you can see you have clearance. If you're putting in the other the other plate, you won't have that clearance around that judder spring. So then this one goes in right behind it, and then your steel plate would go here, and that's gonna push on your judder spring, and you can actually feel it touch, and then it's every other plate all the way till you build your stack. There is a stack height call out in your service manual. This is from DP Brakes, this new clutch. They're a high quality clutch, they're race ready. In theory, they actually don't need to be soaked, but old habits die hard. I really have a hard time not soaking plates. They say they're ready to go out of the box. I have never had an issue putting them in without soaking them, but I also look at it as there really can't be any harm from soaking the plate because they spend all their entire life soaked in oil while they're in the bike. So I personally think it's good to soak the plates and then install them all, check your stack height, and then the very last plate, when everything's all together, goes in, all the other plates stack up right here, and that last plate goes in 90 or one tooth off from there, and that's called out in your service manual as well. It's very common on any of the makes, Honda, Suzuki, Kawi. So your second to last plate, just to be clear, would go in this set of fingers. Each one of these are called fingers, and then your last plate, so there'd be a steel plate. Again, just try to be clear on this. That would be your second to last plate, and then your very last plate would go in like that. So that's how your stack would end. And then your clutch hub would go, the outer hub would go on there. And then this one is kind of another topic of conversation. These splines need to line up with this while lining up with the 5 posts where the springs go. So your springs would go on, and then when you put this on, when your springs are, your springs go in here after this is in, but that has to mesh. If you sit on top, the clutch will not operate like it should. It has to, you have to feel that positive click. So if that one doesn't work, rotate one, and then try again until you feel it click in. See, this one's sitting on top, it's too far away. So that's obviously not gonna work. So you have to keep rotating until these splines fall onto these splines and everything meshes.
Hey guys, Nick back. Hope you enjoyed this week's Run It to Redline Tech Tip of the Week. We got some good information on clutch setup and clutch packs. If you guys would like to see more content regarding clutch adjustment and clutch issues, drop us a comment. Also got a great piece of information there why Russ is called Clutch for once. In closing, appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. We look forward to seeing you next time. And remember guys, run it to Redline.
Smash that subscribe button!